Tim Duff. I'm with FIL Agritech. We're a distributor for Jobe Valves out of New Zealand. Jobe Valves was established in the 1960s as a manufacturer of high-flow quality float valves, originally for the agricultural industry. I have today here with me the three main valves for Jobes. They have a Topaz valve, a Megaflow valve, and a small Rojo valve. Some of the features of Jobe valves are that they're non-corrosive. They're all made of either ABS plastic or solid stainless steel. That way in the water they don't corrode. Good, made to last a long time. The Topaz valve is our first valve. Topaz valve has a quick detach feature, which is a patent of Jobe valves. With just a quarter turn, the valve comes off, and you can easily access the internal screen filter to clean any debris out of the filter or out of the valve. You can clean that without shutting the water off. Simply let the water flow, and even with the water flowing full force, you can take the valve and simply give it a quarter turn and install it back into place. Some other features of the Topaz valve are that it has an adjustable float arm. So if you want to raise or lower your water level, you can do that simply by lowering the water float, raise it back up, and you can do it that way. The float will also come off, and you can mount it either halfway up or you can mount it all the way up to give yourself several positions for mounting and for water levels. The Topaz valve can also mount underwater simply by attaching a string and bringing the float up. The valve is mounted underwater. The Topaz valve also has what's called a Frost Pro port. The Frost Pro is a freeze protection device so that it lets the water trickle out. It's an added feature to the Jobe valves, but only fits onto the Topaz valve. The Topaz valve has a convenient lock-off switch, which is this yellow tab. Simply hold the arm up, push the tab down, and that locks the arm in the up position, which turns the valve off. Simply push it back in, and the valve is ready again for use. The next valve that we have is called a Megaflow valve. The Megaflow valve, much like the Topaz, is high flow and is for underwater mounting only. So as you can see here, the water would come up, it would pull on the float, which pulls on the string, which triggers the valve on or off. It has Jobe's patented detach feature, so you can take the valve off, clean out the filter, and even with the water running full flow, you could put the valve back on and put it back in without having to shut off the water supply. The Megaflow valve has a lock-off feature. The string is simply hooked behind a little notch here on the valve, which is hard to show with our demo, but you simply lock that back, and what it does is pulls this up and locks it in the off position, so if you don't want to use the valve without taking it out, you can just simply shut it off for temporary uses. The last valve that we have is a Rojo valve. The Rojo valve is a little bit different than the other two valves in that it's a much lower flow valve. The Rojo still has a detach feature where it can unscrew to easily access the filter inside. So if you get debris inside of the filter, or inside the valve, just simply clean out the filter, and when this is disassembled, the water shuts off automatically. It has an internal check valve inside to shut the water off. Simply put this filter or the valve back on, and it's ready to go. The Rojo has a convenient lock-off switch. Just simply push that in, and it holds the float up so that it's locked in the off position. Simply pull that back out, and the valve is ready for service once again. Jobe valves are available through Cleanright Corporation. For more information, you can visit Cleanright or go to jobevalves.com.